All right, this is the second of 2 lessons that I've put out this week, showing some tasty little blues licks in the key of C. This one gets a little bit more advanced than the last one. So the last one is more at the beginner, intermediate level. This one's a little bit tougher. Same style of licks. There's just some more flourishes, some more difficult techniques in each of those licks. So like usual, I'm going to go through these licks one at a time, break them down, talk about the techniques, talk about what I'm doing with my right and left hand, and hopefully how you can take these licks and apply them to your own playing. Like all my other lessons, this video is now available to my black belt members. What that means is that you can get an interactive video for the full solo that's played at the beginning of this video here. So you can learn that whole solo beginning to end, learn all the licks. You have access to a backing track, and the video is interactive, so you can loop sections, you can slow sections down. So really cool. Check it out if you're interested at all. You can try it free for 7 days. So check that out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email, guitarlickdojo@gmail.com. So with that, let's take a look at some of the licks here. Let's get into the first lick. All right, there's the first lick. We're taking some inspiration from a couple different players here. This is in the key of C, and we're playing the C minor blues, C minor pentatonic / C minor blues scale. There's some very Stevie Ray Vaughan type ideas into here, in just kind of straightforward blues playing. So again, right in the C minor pentatonic, C minor blues scale. Pretty straightforward stuff, but some definitely tricky parts to the technique and some things that will be much more up the alley of your more advanced players here. So let's break it down note by note, starting off with a pull off on the 11th fret on the 2nd string, pulling off. And then hammering on 8/11, so just right back and forth there. Then we get into some cool Stevie Ray Vaughan vibe type stuff here. We go 8/10 on the 1st string, and then we do that little Stevie Ray Vaughan hammer-on pull-off trick on the root note to the flat 2nd, which means the 8th fret, the C note, to the D flat there on the 9th fret. That's a very Stevie Ray Vaughan type trick. So far we got landing on the 11th fret on the 2nd string. You can get just that lick right there. If you're, especially for the more novice beginner players out there, just that little lick right there will go a long way. That's a lick in and of itself that sounds really cool. So after we land on this, we proceed down the C minor pentatonic scale. That's starting with an upstroke on the C note on the 8th fret on the 1st string. So we got, then pull off 11/8 on the 2nd string. Then 10/8 on the 3rd and 2nd. So let's pause right there for a second. Starting on the 8th fret on the 1st string, descending down. There's one of my alternate picking territories, or not alternate picking, economy picking rather, where we go 8, pull off to the 11/8, 10, and then we get back up to the 11 on the 2nd string. We do another downstroke, so 2 downstrokes in a row. You can even do a downstroke when you go from the 10 to the 8 on the 3rd and the 2nd string there. So Again, economy picking. I love economy picking through these types of licks because when you get playing much faster than this, you'll still be able to play it. You'll have trouble playing it if you try and alternate pick all that. You can do it, it's just a little bit trickier. Economy picking is much more efficient. Next notes, we're going sliding down from the 11 to the 10 and then pulling off. One of my favorite little 3-note licks. This is another lick for all you beginners out there. If you can get just that little lick down, that will go a long way. So for example, you can play something really basic. That little slide, half step slide thing has a really cool vibe to it. Sounds really cool and it's pretty easy to play. So we're sliding down with the third finger down to the 10, pull off 8, and then we go 10-8 on the 4th and 3rd string. So let's play through the first section of the lick right there, right from the beginning. It goes like this. The last part of the lick is pretty basic. We're just climbing down 10-8 on the 4th string and then bending up on the 10th fret on the 3rd string. Up to the 5th of C there. You want to get technical. So that's it. Let's play through the entire lick one more time at a slow speed. Okay, there's the next lick. A lot of stuff going on here. We're playing a little higher up on the register. There's a really fast section. And we also got that Stevie Ray Vaughan trick sneaking in there too. So far through the first, the beginner/intermediate version of this lesson, and this lesson we've been playing in this C minor position here. This one, we're moving up. So we are up here on the 15th fret. Playing in that position up there. So if you're not acquainted with this position, this is a good lick to get a little more acquainted with it. So, and also this lick, we're mixing a little bit of major and minor. So I'll point that out when we get there. So let's bend up, 16th fret on the 2nd string. We're getting to the Stevie Ray Vaughan trick here, so. So a little bit different than the last one. The last one we just did something like this. This one we're bending up, going 13, 15, 14. And then doing the hammer-on pull-off 13, 14, 13. And then we get into more pentatonic style stuff here. So after we land on the 16th fret on the 2nd string, we're also speeding up. We go from 16th note triplets to 32nd notes here. So speeds up like that. But the main part of this next lick starts on the 13 on the 1st string. So starting at the first 32nd note there. Pay attention, we got the economy pick there. When you go from the 15 on the 3rd string to the 16 on the 2nd string. And then we get into this territory right here. When we play that lick right there, that's how it finishes up. We're getting into major territory. Notice we land on the 14 on the 3rd string. That's the major 6th of C. not the minor 6 or the flat 7th. If we were playing straight in C minor pentatonic, we would be landing on. But that one note gives it a totally major vibe, the major 6. The major 6 gives it that major vibe. That's in the major pentatonic scale, C pentatonic scale. And hitting that 6 as a major 6 is a great way to throw in a major vibe. If you take a look at a really good example is the beginning of the solo to Eric Clapton's Crossroads. He does something like this. Something like that. That's the example of the major 6. Hammering up the E to the F sharp instead of, that would be a minor pentatonic type vibe. But that major 6 gives it that major vibe. So it only takes one note to make a big difference. And then the last few notes we go, that's it. So let's play through that last section starting after this, just to get a vibe for that. So really cool little lick. Again, you can take little pieces out of that and come up with your own stuff. So that's it. Let's play through the entire lick one more time to slow speed. All right, so there's the last lick I'm going to cover in this lesson, and this one gets into, and this is the last advanced lick. If you missed the intermediate beginning lesson, definitely check that out, the one that I uploaded a few days ago. This one's getting into arpeggio territory. So the idea here is we're playing somewhere over in the C blues here, we're playing over the F. This chord right here, right? Or F9 or the F7. And when we start off this lick, we're kind of painting that chord. So we start on the 8, the F note, and we go to 7 and 10. If you don't know your arpeggios or your little triads, that's a good introduction into this. These 3 notes right here, starting in the 8th fret, those are the 3 notes that make up an F chord. If you go through all the notes in the F chord, it's repeating all those 3 notes, the root, the major 3rd, and the 5th. So by playing that little 3-note grouping over that chord, we're really playing something that goes over that really perfectly, right? Those are all the notes in the chord. So a great way to start off a little lick. So after going through that, we get into minor, C minor pentatonic territory. And if you want to get technical, what we're doing here, when we get up to the 8, we're still continuing that arpeggio up, but we're playing a dominant 7th arpeggio. So that is the arpeggio for F7 there. That's because we have the D or the E flat rather. E flat is the flat 7th of F. So 1, 3, 5, flat 7 is the F7 arpeggio. So first 2 notes, once we get into past those first 3, we're still continuing that arpeggio. And then after that, we're getting into straight up C minor pentatonic stuff. We got some Stevie Ray Vaughan-esque blues scale stuff coming up. So 8 on the second, 10 on the third, nothing special. And then descending up. I love descending up like that in the pentatonic scale, where you downstroke on the 10, up on the 11, down on the 8. So up, you can do down, and then up on the 8th. Little tricky picking there, but it's cool. I like the type of licks where you go up the scale quicker. Rather than hitting every single note, you kind of skip some notes. Cool little 3-note lick there. So then we get to this. Our favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan little lick there. Then descending down the C minor pentatonic. And then that C minor blues lick, that simple little 3-note blues lick. If this lick you're having trouble with it, or if you're a beginner player, if you take anything out of this entire lesson, take away that little 3-note lick. You can do so much with that. So I can just go. Just that little lick can be the foundation of so many other little licks. So definitely incorporate that into your playing if you like the sound of that. Once you get down to the 10 on the 4th string, you go back up to the 10 on the 3rd string, downstroke, upstroke, and then 10-8 on the 4th string, then bend up on the 10th and the 3rd. The last 5 notes are that same, I covered this earlier, that little sequence. Notice that at the beginning of the lick, that 8 on the 2nd, the first place where you see the 8th on the 2nd string, it's the same lick. Really good lick to practice if you want to work on your picking a little bit. It's a little bit trickier going across 3 strings really quickly. So a lot of cool little licks to pull out of this lesson. A lot of cool licks to pull out of this big lick that we're looking at right here. So try and play it through if you can, if you like the sound of it altogether. But again, if you only like parts of it or you have trouble with parts of it, just take out the pieces you like and see how you can work that into your own playing. But that's it. Let's take this lick all the way through at a slow speed.